The antidote to anxiety is adventure. Lately, I've experienced more anxiety than usual. I've cut back on some distracting, addictive habits, and this has left me face to face with the discomfort of the present moment. Sometimes that moment is filled with fear, doubt, overwhelm, anxiety. When I wake up in the morning, it's like there's two parts to me. One says, just lay here and be cozy and safe. Hide away from the world or delay dealing what you need to deal with, or stay here as long as possible, which of course, that's okay. There's room for relaxing. But I know deep down that most of that voice is fear or overwhelm or anxiety. And it's not my true self. My true highest self says, get up, go outside, see how the light is illuminating the plants. Get some morning light on your face and your eyes and see the world. And even as I talk about those two parts of myself, I can feel in my body the difference between those experiences. In my body, when I think about staying in one place, I feel contracted and tight and small, and I feel it all right here. And when I think about going out, doing what I'm doing right now, standing in the snow in my shorts and my boots, just coming out to see the sunrise, I feel an expansiveness in my chest and my shoulders feel more open and can feel smiles spreading across my face, and I just feel more alive. So I choose this today. So I've been choosing this more and more lately. And lots of times that begins with just noticing those voices, just becoming aware of them or those thoughts, and offering love to that part of me who wants to stay under the covers and hide or feels overwhelmed, or because it's just a familiar thing that I picked up somewhere along the way, childhood or somewhere in life where it felt safe to freeze and do nothing. So I can say, I love you. I know that you want to keep me safe. We're going to be okay. And what do you really want to do instead? Because that part really wants to open up and soften and adventure and see the world and experience things. They're just doing that old familiar pattern because it's safe. I don't know if you can relate to any of that. I bet you can. Today, I choose this. I choose the snow and the sunrise and the gentle breeze. And I think I choose driving south. I think we're going to go find some new views, some new camp. And there's some birds migrating in that area, some cranes. I think I want to go see those today, see what the birds are up to. But let's make something warm to drink and then hit the road. When I looked up the weather where I was headed, it said severe winter storm advisory, so I decided to go for a short hike, but found myself overwhelmed with decisions. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. I just spent the last 10 minutes wrestling with going for a simple 30-minute hike. It's something I want to do. But the thing I was wrestling with is what to wear, which is really funny, and I know it has absolutely nothing to do with what to wear. I understand that there's this part of me that is trying to convince me that it's too hard to figure out what to wear for a hike and too overwhelming, so I might as well not go hiking. Like, that is a story that's actually spinning in my head. And I'm sharing it because I know I'm not alone in this. Like, I know we all have a version of that where there's, anytime we're trying to shift out of something, a part of us is terrified that it won't be safe for us to do it. And doing the old familiar thing, whether it's phone scrolling or numbing out in some other way, distracting ourselves, whatever the thing is, doing the old familiar thing feels so safe and comfortable that that part of us will desperately try to keep us stuck in that loop and block us from making change because it's convinced that our only access to love, safety, or belonging is to stay in that old pattern. So my mantra for today is I'm gonna do it anxious. I'm gonna do it scared. I'm gonna do it overwhelmed. I'm gonna feel that feeling of anxiety or fear of making a change, and I'm gonna do it anyways. We're gonna do it anxious. Also, I wanted to add the irony of being overwhelmed by not knowing what to wear hiking because I don't even own hardly any clothes. So it's not even a true statement. It's not like I have 5 different hiking outfits to pick from or something. I basically have 1 or 2 things that I always wear for all my outdoor activities. I was listening to Tara Brock this morning and she was saying it's real, but it's not true. So that feeling that I'm overwhelmed about what to wear hiking, that's a real feeling. I'm really feeling that, but it's not a true statement that it's too hard to pick out something to wear now and go for a walk. I'm also only going for a 30-minute walk. I'm keeping it really small just so I don't overwhelm myself. Well, Can't remember where we last left off, but if I'm being honest, I got in a little bit of a funk. I had a low day. Sometimes it seems like things are smooth sailing and you're doing really well, and then you get a little low. And I used to really judge myself for that. I think I should be able to pull it together and snap out of it. Learning to just let it be there. And I think that when I let it be there, it passes more quickly. And even if it doesn't, it's okay. This situation has passed. I was gentle with myself. Just did a few things that I know support me. It's moved through. I have one thing to take care of in town this morning. Then we're gonna finally go south to see those birds. Sunset, sunrise, it's gonna be good. The weather is really nice. Yeah, just see what happens. So I'm gonna bring you along. You're gonna get to see the birds too. It's already a beautiful day. Sitting here with the insane skillet breakfast and some cacao. We're off to a good start. And we're by the river. The river's right. I don't know if you can see the water sparkling down there, but we're at the river, so it's already a good day. This was certainly not the most challenging adventure I've ever undertaken. But on this day, I needed to start small, and that's okay, because every adventure doesn't need to be epic. Adventure can look like trying a new bookstore, visiting a local park, or driving home a different route. Or in my case, driving down a new dirt road. Since we had several hours till sunset, I ended up down a dirt road, which is not uncommon for me. I love being on new dirt roads. Definitely out here, no other vehicles, which I love. It's beautiful. Trying to find this trailhead to this arch that's on this road. I know I'm on the right road, and the road so far is just pretty good dirt, and it's dry, so I think I'm good in the Subi. But continuing to be cautious as I go to see the road gets too muddy. The description did say high clearance 4-wheel drive recommended, so we'll see if I get to a point where I have to stop. That rock outcropping up there, part of that is maybe where the arch is. Trusting intuition as I go. Anytime you do something fun and new, there's always an element of being out of your comfort zone and being nervous. And it's just a constant checking in with, am I anxious because there's impending concern that I need to pay attention to? Or is it just excitement, nervousness because you're in a new space? It's a constant dance, whether you're out in the woods or whether you're in life, right? Listening to your body. See what happens. So beautiful out here. So loving that it's warm enough day to be barefoot. So I got to the end of this, the road stops right here. And so I thought, oh, well, where do we go now? Maybe they closed the road. And then I saw a stick over here. Let's see if you can see it. I was gonna go on foot down that trail. And then right as I went to turn my vehicle around, look what's behind me, the arch. That was funny. So I'm excited. A successful mission. I didn't have a lot of details about this, but I wasn't exactly sure totally what I was headed for. So I see a little foot trail. So we might try to get a little closer. I wasn't planning on hiking to it for sure because I didn't know much about it. I had read that it's dangerous and there could be rock slides at the base of the arch. So being here by myself, I wasn't sure that I was going to hike all the way up there. I've always been really wary in the spring, just being really careful as rocks and mud and everything are shifting in the spring. So because there's some other people here, I think I'll go ahead and do it. I want the exact location of where I am and where this arch is. There's a link in the description for this video to get my 20 car camping essentials. And once you sign up for that, which is totally free, then you get a monthly note from me. And it includes some of the highlight places that I camped this month. I send that out to anyone who's on that list once a month. Scientists say that stepping out of old patterns forms new neural pathways in the brain. I can't say for sure if that's true, but what I do know is this. When I experience something for the first time, I feel like myself again, less anxious, more present. And to me, that is epic. Walking a little bit along the fin of the arch, or the wall that the arch was formed on, because I feel like there would be some sort of archaeology, like a petroglyph or pictograph, because it's such a significant high point. It seems like the first people would have hung out and left a mark. So I'm checking. Also because there's a little light trail along the edge of the wall. Could just be deer, could be a social trail. Pursuing my curiosity just in case. I'm gonna try to share the stillness with you. There's no wind, no planes overhead, just a few birds. Listen. And just like that, all the anxiety is melted away. It's all gone. Just fully present, fully immersed in the experience. We push through the comfort zone. We expand our upper limits to experience what's on the other side of that, the thing that we haven't yet felt or seen or explored. About 2 months, these babies are going to be blowing up bright red claret cup. I've been looking along this wall, both directions from the arch, and I haven't seen any pictographs or petroglyphs. But I'm having fun looking. That's what matters the most. It's just being curious and having fun. And just because I don't see them doesn't mean they're not here. It just feels like the perfect place that they would be. I believe the first people here were the Ute people. I like to acknowledge when I'm exploring in an area that I am not the first person to have ever been here. These are juniper berries, used commonly to make gin. They are so little, I hardly ever see them this small, especially if you're hiking in Utah in the desert. Oh my gosh, they're so good. Really juicy. Lots of times the juniper berries are really dry and hard. They always have some sort of flavor, but these are extra juicy. It must be because they're really small and they're so good. It's hard to explain what they taste like. Somewhat peppery. I want to say they're just junipery because that's what they taste like, is juniper to me. Also really interesting to note is that these are just coming off really easily, almost like falling off to my hands. And in other times of year, or even just in the desert, maybe because there's not as much moisture there, you have to tug them a little bit. Here, they're just practically falling into my hands. What a fun little treat to find today on the trail. Free trail snacks. See if we can make it back safely without any slides. Something can happen anywhere. So something's gonna happen. I would rather have it be while I'm out living my life fully and completely and confidently and curiously and exploring the world. Yeah. Yeah. Just take our time and we won't film while we're going down. Make our way down and then we'll film at the bottom. Wow, the views here are absolutely unbelievable. All right, we made it down. Successful mission, other than that little neck tweak got on the muddy, loose, rocky part of the trail. But you know what? I'm gonna call that nature's chiropractic adjustment. Maybe it's exactly what my neck needed. So thank you, rocks and mud and trail. Thanks for that little adjustment. All right, bye, Arch. I will see you all at sunset with the cranes. Doing a reverse. I saw a sign that said there was a creek down this road. I'm not sure the condition of the road. At the top it looks a little muddy. If there's a chance for a little cold plunge, we gotta do it. So let's just scout the road and see how it is. Okay, so all of a sudden up ahead, the road looks like a different consistency of mud, and it's a low point in the road, and it continues to be a low road. So that tells me it's gonna keep getting muddier. So my intuition is to not keep going, especially because right behind me, I have a really good place to turn around. I don't know once I get down into that marshier low point ahead, whether I might get stuck. There's also a river that I've never gotten into before, not very far from here. So I might just go get in the river. Plan to come back here another day. That was fun. A second ago, I went through a really muddy part. I didn't notice how muddy it was on the way out. I must have cut to the bank on the way out. Felt like I was maybe briefly gonna get stuck and I had to really floor it. And I popped a bunch of mud inside the vehicle. Good little moment of adventure. Definitely glad I'm trusting my intuition and turning around because there's some good mud in here. Makes for a good day for sure. We just pulled into the wildlife refuge area. We're gonna go see if we can see the cranes a little before sunset, which is supposed to be a great time to see them. And I just a few minutes, oh, whoa, there's a ton of birds that direction. Whoa, hold on. We're on a phone here, so I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see. There are hundreds of birds in the sky. There's like a line of birds out that direction. And the moon died. Golden hour is starting. There's definitely birds in the area. Let's hope we can get kind of close. We're definitely seeing lots of birds. It's absolutely beautiful. The sunset is crazy. But I see an area up here where there's a lot of cars parked, so I'm hoping that maybe that is where a sandhill crane nesting ground might be. But regardless of what happens, it's already just so beautiful out here. Anytime that you're out at sunset or sunrise looking for something awesome, whether it's the color in the sky or wildlife, it's just always a good moment already. The excitement of possibility and the beauty of the present moment. All right, there's somebody here with huge cameras with big lenses. There's gotta be cranes here. And I did see one huge wingspan open up just as I pulled into the parking spots. Let's get out and check it out. And oh man, what an evening. Couldn't catch it all in video because the majority of the cranes came in after the sunset. It was like there was like invitations sent out and the Canada geese all showed up first and then some other ducks and birds. And then just as the sun was pretty much all the way gone, there wasn't much light left in the sky, all of a sudden, I would say thousands of sandhill cranes just started coming in. The sound and the song and the vision of them coming in with those big wings and their legs dropping so they could land on the water with not that much light left, but just enough that you could see their silhouette. Oh my gosh, it made me want to be really good at night photography so that I can show you how beautiful these things are. But it was also beautiful that I couldn't really video because then I got to just be really in the moment and I was just wrapped up in my coat and a blanket and laid out on the rock right by the water and just laid there and listened to them for the longest time until there was barely a drop of light left in the sky. It was absolutely a magical night, and honestly really what I needed because as I've been sharing, I've just been experiencing this anxiety lately, and I know it's very much related to the fact that I'm not distracting myself anymore and I'm just being more present in my life, which is amazing, but there's some discomfort in the shift of that. Today was one of those days where I was like, I didn't miss any distractions. I didn't miss listening to podcasts, being on my phone, any of those things. I didn't miss it because it was such a beautiful, full, vibrant, alive, exciting day. And it just inspired me to want to have more and more days where I'm just more and more present in my life. These moments in our life are limited. We don't have an endless amount of them. That's what's out there waiting for us if we stop distracting ourselves and we just get out and live. Wow. What an evening. And to think that I'm going to sleep here and get up really early and drive about 12 miles back in the dark to be there at sunrise. I'm really hoping that tomorrow I'm going to be able to show you some birds, the mating dance that they do. We'll see if we can get that tomorrow after sunrise. See you in the morning. Every time in my life that my soul has felt most alive, it was because I stepped out of my comfort zone, giving birth to my 3 children, training for a mountain marathon, solo backpacking for days, waking up at 4 a.m. to chase meteor showers or snowboard fresh powder, or waking up my young son to hear elk bugling at dawn. Even the hard conversations that led to deeper connection. Every single thing that's ever made me feel alive began with anxiety, and I've learned that anxiety is often the signal something amazing is about to happen. So now I'm leaning into the fear, letting the anxiety exist, and doing it anyways.